Hey,
to the show.
good to be back. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. You just
Andy,
came
you're in
back.
deal?
What? Yeah, I'm in beer. You are in. So it's reversed. The Dave is on that side, no, on that side, and Landon is on that side. It's also for
Yes.
me strange because it's reversed too. Yeah, I heard that Landon, you came back from across the pond.
Yeah, I went to Canada.
Did you
Went
get
in,
some
visited.
powder treatment?
No, none. I just
Not at all, or what?
no. I did the good old
Couch.
Canadian barbecuing. I went swimming in the lake. I went swimming in the lake January 1st. I did the
no,
polar bear dip. Yes,
no.
yes, yes. Two
It's
times.
it's
First
2
and the
degrees or
second.
what?
It was 3.3 degrees.
Wow.
Yes.
You do that stuff.
I normally not, but I did this year.
I thought you were a Caribbean guy with 28 degrees water treatment only and hate the cold stuff.
But my sister said that she was going in. I was like, all right.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's the group,
sibling
the group
rivalry.
problem, yeah.
I had to do it. So it was against my own will. So yes, I did a very Canadian thing. I went into the lake in wintertime. I actually learned how to scuba dive in that very same lake.
Yeah.
And I think my coldest dive was 1 degree Celsius.
Tell
In
us
that-
which lake
That's-
which lake
Uh,
is
Lake,
that?
Lake Okanagan. So it's in the Okanagan Valley, obviously, and it's a very big lake in the summer. It's very warm. But
Kelowna, yeah.
Kelowna,
Yeah.
correct.
I have good memories to that place.
Yeah.
On paper I got 18 there.
Yeah, and there's good snowboarding there too.
Yeah.
You're probably there for snowboarding, right?
Yes. Around the corner, big white. So, yeah, good memories.
And what did you do, Andy, to ring in the new year?
Snowboarding. And a lot of, how to say, food and work.
Yeah.
So, but the primary goal was snowboarding on higher speeds. And I got a full set of waxing equipment, so I'm completely on. My P-Tex is perfectly finished and pretty fast.
Cool. Well, you got the nephews to keep up with. So.
Yeah. The long radiuses, high speed.
Yeah.
It's high speed mode at the moment.
Cool.
Okay.
And Dave?
And Dave is you?
Dave drank a lot of gin. I mean, it's New Year. You have to drink gin. So
Yeah.
you start off the year the way you mean to finish the year. So you finish the year on gin and you start it on gin as well.
That is a good thing, a good start.
Indeed. We're being asked, actually, Landon, one of the audience is asking, what is Canadian powder treatment? Question mark.
It's not. It's different from the Colombian powder treatment. You know.
Yes.
By the way,
It's,
how is our sound? Is our sound good, or can anybody from the audience say something?
Yeah. Let us know if it sounds good there, guys, in the chat. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll answer the Canadian powder question later, I guess.
I the chat. Yeah. Just snowboard. Snowboarding.
Snowboarding.
For powder. That's what it's about.
Deep untracked powder.
Yep.
If there's no powder, then the professional term is corduroy.
Yep. And that's your expertise.
Yeah, that's my expertise.
So let's hop into
Let's kick off.
into 2024 here, and let's see what's on today's menu. Yeah.
I need to flip in here, yeah?
Yeah.
You need to
There
guide
you
me
go.
a little bit because I just came out of the gym before and then prepared for going live, and so I'm a little bit fighting with all the technology here right now. But everything is okay.
They don't have Dave and I there to bother you, so it probably went waste.
You just say what I need to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah. Go ahead there, Dave.
Yeah, so today we're going to cover just a few things. We've not got any revelations or breaking news, but a little bit about some order deliveries that have been completed just at the end of the year, at the start of the year. A little bit about the exciting new atelier, or the new manufacture, which is coming on stream super quick. A little bit of a overview of what we might or might not be doing in 2024, and then a little update on the Autark tourbillon project as well. So maybe, Andy, if you want to flip to the next slide.
So we are getting into delivery here, and next slide, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, next slide.
Yeah.
So there's the tourbillon 1 drop. This was kind of the very last of the tourbillon 1s that we put for sale. I think it was around about June, July, wasn't it, Landon, of 2023? And
it was July.
We promised to deliver those by the end of the year, and we managed to deliver all of those by the end of the year. They either shipped just before Christmas or in between Christmas and New Year. So I believe everybody, other than a couple of people that are on holiday, have received their tourbillon 1s now as well. So that is the very last of those original tourbillon 1s out in the wild now as well, hopefully to a lot of happy people who will be having them on their wrists.
Rare stuff.
And there's and Andy, for this next slide, you want to jump to slide number 9. It just seems like it fell out of order there. There with Pascal.
This one.
Yeah. And with the delivery of the tourbillon 1s, we had a promise to the original engineers and watchmakers that oversaw the tourbillon 1 project that they would get a watch. Yeah. And they finally received it. I don't know, Andy, did you get a watch yet?
No. I'm not entitled to that product. I just don't deserve it yet, I think. Okay. I need to do a better job. But as long as the people are happy, and I mean, that deal was, it's now 3 years older.
Yeah.
If I'm not completely wrong. But customers first, and also everybody in our team understands that. And so once everything was shipped, the people who are behind it actually got their reward, and now everybody's happy. So, and I'm happy too, because there's so many tourbillons in our company.
Yeah, and Sue put together a very nice cake. You can see the cake.
She baked the cake. Can I make that bigger here? Yeah, that's the cake with actually the tourbillon pattern on it. So cake was excellent, by the way. Sue and Celine
very good.
Good job. Back to guest vertical.
So we delivered all the tourbillon, the last, and the drop, and obviously those that were ready for staff, and then we moved on and we looked at, obviously, Lensman 2 was a big photography project for 2023, and those delivered as well. Dave, you want to talk a little bit about those?
Yeah, absolutely. We, again, had promised that we would try our very best to get those delivered by the end of 2023. And I think it would be fair to say that we were 2/3 successful. There were 3 colours. There was the black dial, the yellow dial, and the limited edition Brian Griffin. We managed to get the black dial and yellow dials all shipped by the end of the year. We unfortunately had a little delay, maybe around 10 days on the Brian Griffin edition, not because of the watch, but unfortunately the printer who was responsible for the photographs had an extended Christmas break and couldn't quite get them to us prior to Christmas. So they arrived just in the last day or so. And I believe there's a photo there on their screen, I think, of the packing on the main dining room table, where all of the photographs.
In my living room.
There we go. Yeah. That is where all the photographs that have all individually been signed as well by Brian, all of those were packaged up super carefully in the new packaging for the photos that Landon worked so hard on at the back end of 2023 to make sure that those photographs were delivered absolutely pristine. And they, I think the first batch left yesterday, and I believe the remaining batch of those will leave today as well. So hopefully by this weekend, anyone waiting for a Lensman 2 Brian Griffin edition will have theirs as well. And actually, even Brian himself has had to wait because his watch, again, will be being delivered to him, I believe, in the next few days as well. So therefore, everyone waiting, including Brian himself, will have their watches coming up.
By the way, I think you made a nice picture out of my phone picture here.
Out of your phone picture?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just did a little
tweaking
color edit.
here.
Yeah, a little tweaking.
Color grading.
But my arrangement not so bad, huh?
No, you did a fantastic job. And Dave, you mentioned the work that I had done. Brian went in there just before, basically, what was it? The week before Christmas, he was in there signing every single one of those. Yeah. And you can imagine 100 packages with 4 prints each. So that's a lot of signatures to get out between. I think he went there from 10 till 5 o'clock in the evening. Just was signing nonstop. So really special prints. And Leon also did a really great job on the layout, on the insert there, and on the cover. Altogether, it's a very nice presentation.
It's stuff worth owning, I would say.
Yeah. Something really special to take out, and you can also display it just in the box itself, without taking the images out, because it's sort of shadow boxed there. And then, if you want, you can take and hang them, which I suggest you do. Put them out on the wall. Conversation piece. Yeah.
Absolutely. These are not photos for being hidden away in a box in the dark somewhere. For sure, get them out, get them framed. I think these even deserve a professional framing if you can stretch yourself to that as well. And I think proving the point that, that little bit extra, that 1,000 Swiss francs extra for this watch, aside from the platinum rotor, these photos in their own right are more than worth that little upcharge there was for that special edition limited model.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so that's those are the deliveries that went out, and the next thing we're going to talk about is where we're moving to. Yeah,
because we
do have a little bit of movement in the company.
Yeah, we are growing, and we want to cut, as last year suggested with this Mission Independence project, which is an ongoing project. We need to increase our capacity, which doesn't come from one day to another, and with more capacity there is more space needed, and we need to currently we have 3 locations, and we need to bring at least 2 of them together, and that's what we will move inside of our building here, just down. So we occupy the entry space. Everybody who knows where we are knows that everything is tightly packed here, and there we will have roughly 650 square meters, close to double the size. And what comes with moving? A lot of pain. I hate moving, by the way. It's I'm trying. Actually, I bought myself a carpenter's pants, that I look like a real hardworking person. Everybody's laughing at me. But, I said, you guys do the watches and I take care of the other stuff like organizing paint and all this shit. That's a typical CEO job, And,
painting and woodworking.
Yeah, and delays of supply, and we need to install some stuff, and you need to paint here, and you need to be careful because you can dump a shitload of money into a place like that. And, a nice painted wall is nice, but it doesn't build watches. So that is always a trade-off needed. Trying not to invest too much into that facility. So I have a picture here. Probably I make it a little bit bigger so you can see it better and move ourselves around here. So I move you guys a little bit. So currently we are in this area, in this level, and we will move down. Wait, you see that? You don't see that. Currently we are here. Yeah. And then we will move down there. And that's the whole place, including a second half floor. So it's like a terrace which you can look down. And we have a nice terrace besides the river where we can drink gin.
Perfect.
In case.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah. You can see the gin patio from the drone shot above.
Yeah.
There used to be a guy with a gym in there, and he had all his stuff out there.
Yeah.
So this was taken prior to us moving over there. But the video in the middle is of friends of ours. They were in Artworth doing some video work with us, and you get an idea of this space, of just how compact everything is in there. Andi, I would suggest taking the volume off on it just because there's a lot of background noise in there. But you can play the video there and people can get an idea of our little space, and then in the next slide we'll look at how big the new space is.
Currently, everything is super packed. Amanda is assembling Doppelrolle, it seems like. They did that. They did that movie, yeah? They filmed it.
No, I
Or
just did that quick with my
okay.
phone.
We got a new machine.
But you can see everybody's.
Last time talked about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back in a row there. We got Leon here.
Yeah.
And who else? Is there anybody else at the desk there? Then you have all the engineers, so they'll have a nice new.
Dario, Jonas, me. That's this
There's
guy.
Andy in the background.
In my cave, in my video cave. In front of the video cave.
That was Andy before he invested in his workman trousers.
Yeah. That's the correct word, workman trousers. I like that word.
There we go.
Yeah.
We have VLAN there. And that's it for that video. So you get an idea of the space and just how closely we're all working. When Artworth was there, they put together the next video that's beside that.
Yeah.
As well, if you just for Lensman 2, so you could see what was actually going on that day.
Which video is that?
It was the one on the far right on the last slide, the previous slide.
Okay.
So the previous one, with the top-down shot.
This one. Okay.
Yeah, so
Here, the drone shot. Yeah. Okay.
That's them on the left.
I need to
Yeah. Yeah, it might be coming there. Yeah, no problem. So I have more space to do more creative videos and projects like this, because there is going to be a special space allocated just to video and our YouTube
and video.
My vision, you guys know my vision, yeah. 24/7 accessible in our facility in all major languages. That's what I want to have. Not a stupid robot or shit like that. I want to have real people where you can talk with real cameras on real watches. That's what I want to have.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Therefore we need a little bit more facility, and that's the facility. That is the upper place. So the studio will be here in the rear, yeah? And there will be a showroom here, all this will be engineering and administration, and down there, all that will be, assembly, logistics, everything in one place. And as I said, the gin is for the terrace. Gin and barbecuing. Yeah, and needless to say, there's a lot of work to be done, namely to paint these ugly walls, because I hate these stones, must be white. We need to put some glass in there and lay out all the electronics, the wiring, the power cables. Doing another grinding room for dust issues, and it's 650 square meters, needs filling. Takes some time. So I hope by end of February we are done. I have some suspension period from the landlord until March, so she will not kill me when we are not instantly gone from the upper floor, and that's a good sign. So
yeah, but it's gonna be a great space, a lot of room, and if you want to come drink gin with Dave on the patio, definitely book an appointment and come and see us, and we'll also show you some watches.
Yeah, and make sure you're prepared.
Yeah, and I hope that the whole moving thing doesn't distract. Prepare for the gin.
Yeah, for the gin.
I hope that the whole moving thing doesn't do too much distraction and delays on our daily operation, which I assume we will see. Yeah, I mean, moving a company with all that process and infrastructure is always an issue, and we will see some hiccups. So apologize for this up front, but afterwards I think the experience will be even better, and everybody's welcome.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's a good point.
And before we hop into the next slide here, Andy. Sorry, a little bit of delay here. Sorry to talk over you there, Dave. I just saw that there was a question from Arthur on what's the future of K1. Andi, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, the future. There's always the future of K1 depends if someone picks up the phone and asks us if they need a movement. And the second part of that must be if they have enough resources to pay for the party. I mean, for us, the K1 movement is part of our product line. We have enough inventory for ourselves to do our products, and when they are sold out, they are sold out. Core components are anyhow part of the K2, so we do not have any problems on that. Everybody who also knows a little bit in this industry is that Bremont is having pretty much core components of K1 in their ENG 300 movement. So there are a number of resources for spare parts and things like this out there besides ourselves, where there's an ongoing stream of K1 business moving. But for us at Orange, we need to focus now on K2, on the micro rotor. That's the thing we started in 2016. That's our future, and we will build around that. And K1 is our history and is our beginning, the beginning of it all. Yeah. And so we will always be able to maintain and make products on that. We could even walk back and say, look, now we need to do that, so we can always also reactivate it. Everything is set and everything is there. But it wouldn't make sense for us as a small company to maintain two such calibers on the long run. So, but if someone comes and say, we need something and it makes sense and it's realistic, we can always talk open on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's always there for us to use, but as Andi says, the future is in the K2. It has many advantages over the K1 from an engineering perspective and for use in watches, so it makes more sense for us to focus our attentions there. Yeah. Obviously also with the tourbillon movements as well.
Which I hope we will see soon.
Okay.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's jump into the 2024 projects. I think that's the next thing on the agenda.
Yep.
Right, I just need to adjust something here. Somehow, why do you not see the comments?
There's comments there.
Here, now I see it.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
I can see them, yeah.
I don't know why. Now it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So get in the comments there, everybody. Ask some questions if anything comes up.
That's why we're here. That's what I like. Questions, please. Projects 2024.
What's simmering?
Indeed. So we have a multitude.
The Chinese fondue is simmering.
Yeah, is that what's for dinner tonight?
Oh, don't tempt my stomach. But yes, so we have a few different things coming down the line. We have something maybe that would be more dress orientated.
I love that. It will be
it's an interesting. I think that's going to be an interesting watch for sure. I think it's going to take a few people by surprise. We also have a three-hand version. So the simplest watch, I guess, in the current lineup is the Superseed Date. This is going to be an even simpler variant where it's effectively time only with no date. So that's something that's coming.
But it's not a Superseed.
But it is not a Superseed, correct?
That's right.
Then there's going to be maybe one, maybe two GMT, let's say GMT orientated watches. Maybe one more traditional, maybe one less traditional in the GMT terms. Maybe a continuation of Lensman. I think there's definitely, in fact, a continuation of Lensman. As to what that is, who knows? And possibly also something with another new movement iteration in it as well. But we're not going to give too much away on that front. Time will tell, and keep sticking with us. Every couple of weeks, we're hoping to be on here talking to you. So hopefully we can expose more and more of these things as time progresses through 24.
Yeah, but the big project that's still in the works.
That's what keeps us busy here. Yeah.
The Torque Tourbillon. Yeah. And it's a project that we announced in 2023. Yeah, just at the tail end of 2023. And pre-orders have been coming in, and it's actually been quite successful.
Shall I play that thing?
Yeah, you can play it. For those of you that haven't seen it, here we go.
Good. I switch off the sound there. Just continue talking.
Yeah, so we have questions. KTMR with GMT. That is not in the 2024 plans. It's
Some people will get a heart attack in our engineering team.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's okay. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock, so they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
This is the video, and since this video even came out, we have added an additional dial color in with the salmon dial also now being offered both with and without power reserve. So this project has very much got underway, and we've had feedback and we've had additions into the range, also with the strap options that we've been offering. But there's definitely more news to come on that front in the next few weeks. Hopefully the next big reveal being the case.
Yeah, so we have another question here with regards to any plans to move up or down in terms of price ranges for the new watches. We're trying our best, as always, to provide the best value possible. And Andi, I'll let you chat about that at greater length.
Prices, yeah. We try to keep things stable, and I think we have been the only company who did not really increase prices as far as I understand the market. I need to wait. Let me just close that thing here because it's YouTube advertising now in the way.
Yeah.
Which shall I move up or down? Which slide? Next one? Or?
I just you can move to the next one. Yeah, and we'll get to that shortly.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is about pricing? I mean, most of the brands in Switzerland increased prices 2 times last year. We see tax increases, we see all these kind of things, so we need to have a look into these things. But everything which is not necessary we will not do, and we try to keep things stable at the end of the day. If we find out that there is a margin problem or that we are too tight on something, then we will communicate that. Yeah, that's pretty much the plan. We need our margins. We need to invest into our business and into growing it. And but I think to be honest, a lot of companies took advantage of this whole inflation talk and stuff like this, and then just pumped up the prices, which I think should be not the case. And at the moment the industry is taking a turn, I guess. And probably some people recognize that their products might be a little bit too expensive for what the market and the people are willing to pay. And as long as we have our ears on the ground and have a good idea on what prices, sure, is it possible to put more complication functions into it? Okay, I'm just reading the comment here. No, that's the plan. If we need to increase some prices on the one or the other area, then we will communicate that properly. And but overall, there is no specific idea to make us outrageously expensive. People and all of you and our community is buying our products because we deliver a lot of value, a lot of watch for the money, a lot of bang for the buck. Or that's I think the correct word.
Yep. Yeah.
And that should continue. And yesterday I visited a supplier, a very nice supplier doing super high-end stuff, a lot of handwork stuff. But, when you polish angles for 50 hours, then needless to say, in Switzerland, things get expensive. And we still need to continue to apply technology in order to keep pricing in check. It has not much to do with inflation or other things. It's just the way we make things and the way we make them as efficient as possible while delivering an excellent and nice looking product. That's the job. So economy of scale is relevant, and therefore we need to invest, and therefore we need to continue to grow the company in the right direction.
Absolutely. I think, as you mentioned, Andy, the only things that might have some impact are unfortunately things completely out of our control.
Yeah.
You know, if some of the governments have put their, like for example, their VAT rates up and etc.
That's a real
These are
issue.
things we have.
I mean,
Yeah,
we have discussed long about that. We say we want to keep the same price everywhere policy, but governments are something we cannot control. Yeah, and we need to find solutions for that during this year, because there's a very big stretch in the market now. There's such a big stretch that it's hard actually to handle it. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, even as we reviewed it this year, which we have done, you have everything from, you know, under 10% to well over 30%.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's such a volume of difference in price there that's very difficult. But anything we can do within our control to maintain a strong value product is what we will do. We just need to keep an eye on the things, unfortunately, that we have no control over. But we will always try to deliver the best value that we can for product.
good.
Yeah, so as we're talking about value for product, let's jump into the Torque tourbillon updates. It's probably, obviously, the most bang for the buck when it comes to a micro-tourbillon in the market, out of Switzerland, and done directly in our HQ. And the first point on that slide is it's an important day is coming up. Yeah, the January 12th. 2023 was a very important day for us. It was not only Kiss a Ginger Day, it was not only the discovery of Toadzilla, the largest cane turtle weighing in at 2.7 kilograms, and it was not only the tornado outbreak of January 12th, 2023, which festered 41 tornadoes over a 15-hour period, but it was the first day that the on-shape file for the Micro-tourbillon was created. So all of those wonderful things happened.
Research, huh?
Hey, this is my job, man.
Yeah,
This is if anyone wonders why marketing are always busy, this is why marketing are always busy.
Yeah. So all those things
I
happened.
learned something today.
Landon also learned during his research on Kiss a Ginger Day, he thought I was ginger. He was wondering if I had a dark-held secret.
Well, let me tell you, David. Let me tell you, okay? Redheads make up about 1 to 2% of the total world population, with Scotland having the highest concentration of redheads at 13%. 13% of the population is redhead.
Cool.
Yeah.
So sounds about right.
That's pretty cool.
And no, I am not.
Yeah.
I am a fair-haired. I'm a fair-haired princess.
Yeah. So January 12th, which is this Friday, is the 1-year anniversary of the first on-shape file being created for the KTMR, the Micro-tourbillon. So, yeah, Marcus has already been working on it for a year, and we're moving along, and we're getting pretty close to prototypes. So dial samples will be coming in probably around mid-February. Case samples mid-February. They should be done earlier. Obviously, we have to account for some shipping time in between. And the team's been working through the movement parts. So we already have 141 of the parts in stock ready to go, and we only have 17 parts that are currently being milled. And when those are complete, then we'll be able to actually start assembly of the first movement, and shortly after that, the watch. So we're looking at a first watch and a movement prototype end of February. And that's, making sure that nothing happens in the milling process, because things can happen. They've happened before.
Milling is our issue. Yeah. We're trying to open as many suppliers as possible besides doing our own stuff, but our own machine also had a little bit of a hiccup. Symmetry is an issue, so when you turn it around, you need to have the holes on the same place. And we didn't find the bug where it was, and and other machines are full, like always, or broken down. I mean, this milling thing is really pain in the... I don't say it now.
Yeah.
But
you said every other word.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the least offensive thing you're likely to say today.
Yeah. And that's actually also the reason why we are a little bit behind, probably with other deliveries. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something we need to get out of the way. We need to increase our machine capacity at least by 2 or finally by 3 milling machines in order to really be able to do what we are doing right now. Because all the rest is not the problem. All the assembly and all the turning and gear cutting and we are fine on that side. It's just these plates which you see there, they are the last thing which are finished in engineering, and they are the first thing you need to have when you want to put stuff together, and that is the biggest problem. At the same time, they consume more than 90 minutes of machining time on a machine, so you can make easy numbers, make 100 pieces or 1,000, make 1,000 pieces is 90,000 minutes gone, and 90,000 minutes is a lot. So if you consider how much minutes a day has, that's quite a lot.
And again, that's a good point you bring up. That's where a lot of sometimes the hidden costs are. These machines do need servicing. They do, unfortunately, break down. They go offline for a given period of time. And if you want redundancy and additional machines, when these machines cost hundreds of thousands, if not potentially millions per machine, that's a cost that you need to balance very carefully, or that product cost goes up and up because of the cost of these machines. So it's always that fine balance between ability and accessibility and the cost.
Yeah. And especially in this milling area, when you look at these parts here on the screen, when you look at that stuff, the code for the machine we write has so many lines, and when you compare that to a turning part where you probably have 100 or 300 lines of code, and there you have probably 250,000 to 500,000 lines of code just to let this machine run, then you automatically can imagine that easily something can hide. There can be some bug, there can be some issue, and and then you don't get the microns out of that pin, and pins are the biggest challenge for us, because positioning pins, and when they are not vertical or when they have a little bit of a cone, we cannot let that go through, because it will fire back in assembly, and ultimately it will fire back in quality when they are on the wrist. So we need to try to get more suppliers being able to make parts like this besides ourselves, because we are not yet on this capacity level by ourselves.
Yeah.
But I think it looks good. So we have seen worse problems, I would say.
Yeah, and this is part of the fun of the journey, is coming along with us, where we are very open about where we do have challenges. And yes, sadly, sometimes it's frustrating because it causes delays, but I think it brings you along on the joy of the development journey. And it is absolutely as frustrating for us as it is for you as customers, because the engineers get frustrated, the watchmakers get frustrated, we get frustrated, but it's part of the fun of developing innovative new products.
There's a question: is there any idea to add an additional bezel option for autark tourbillon, like a fluted bezel or Lensman one bezel type? Not yet.
Yeah. This is actually a question we have.
At least I don't know of anything.
No, we've actually been asked this a few times, and the answer we have had back is, as we are aiming for a very thin watch on this one, hopefully under 9mm in size, that was the big challenge in terms of engineering for the bezel on this one. So at this point, unfortunately, there is not the idea to have that. And additionally, aesthetically, the designers felt that the clean, smooth bezel really worked better with the appliques that we've gone for on the dials. So that's where we're at with that just now. But, never say never. But as it stands just now, we're only going with the one option.
And Thomas Henderson said he was in Los Angeles. So awesome. Are you planning to attend more shows in the US or elsewhere in 2024? Definitely, we will show more up in the US. That's what we agreed upon. By the way, I anyhow need America treatment. I didn't get one until
Yeah.
I need my when I get out of that airport, I need to go to the first supermarket and buy muffins with maximum nutrition factors and a bag of nachos and a dip. That's what I need when I arrive, and then I go driving long distances. So
And a big gulp probably too.
yeah,
Your big gulp, yeah. You need your big gulp.
so I'm really missing that. And I haven't been in the US since 2016, I think.
Yeah, you've not been for a while.
Yeah,
Landon, I don't know if you've been to the US. You've
unbelievable.
certainly been. You've been to your homeland in Canada, the northern part.
I was there the year before in 2022 in the summer with Eric, who's our concierge in Los Angeles. We did an event out there, and that's who was at the Intersect show in Los Angeles, and he will probably intersect. I said, don't laugh, Dave.
Muffins and nachos. This is American too. No, I really, it's the stuff you just can't buy here in this scale. And I don't identify America just with muffins and nachos.
No.
But that's the stuff I just need when I touch down. And everybody's laughing at me. So you eat that crap.
Yeah, but it's very odd that you would identify with muffins. America is with muffins and nachos.
Yeah, and chocolate, by the way. Yeah, only chocolate with chips inside, with the big chocolate flakes.
Says the man who lives in the home of chocolate. He needs to travel to America to buy chocolate.
Yeah, when I eat that stuff, you get this kind of, it's itching here out of a sudden.
Those are chemicals. That's not chocolate. Those are chemicals.
That's the E numbers in the chemicals. Yeah. That's not the natural product.
Okay. Yeah. I think we have a lot of fun here.
Yeah, but being serious though, we were asked, I think, pretty much all of last year when we were going to make landfall in the United States because we have, a huge number of fans there in many of the cities, and we did the Asia trip in 2023, and we have talked very much about 24 being a bit of a focus on the US as a market. So at some point this year, we will be doing, hopefully, a little tour of some of our key market countries, or key market cities, should I say, in the US, but more on that as we work it out. We need to convince Sue first that it's a great idea.
Yeah, we need to go to Washington also. There's someone waiting for us that we have. I mean, in general, I think we had some events here in Europe this year, and more like smaller events with a selected group of people where you have more time to talk to each other. Personally, I think I like it more than going to a show. Yeah,
I think even on the Asia trip where, for example, in Taiwan and in Singapore, we did little focus groups with, between 20 and 50 people at a time. It really did work. And I think people got hands-on time with the watches. Again, in a low pressure environment, it wasn't a kind of heavy sell environment. And sometimes it's best just to let people have a nice chilled, relaxed time, enjoying the watches, asking questions. Of course, goes without saying.
Okay, I think we are done so far. Huh?
Yeah, I think that's it. It was just a kickoff to the new year, and a brief overview. Obviously, once we have samples of the dials and we have the case samples,
we show instantly, and we promise that we go online every 2 weeks. So, and if there's need be, we will do that faster. And I'm looking forward to that year.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one.
So thanks everybody for tuning in. If any of you have someone that might enjoy this, you'll be able to tell them to watch it back on YouTube later on as it's fully uploaded. But hopefully we'll catch you in 2 weeks.
Good.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.